Every paragraph was said as I had said I did. Mother, the first surrender, taking us a leap inside. Papers saying I'm not mine. The crown, the king of love. Better get on your feet. This the one of ours. Better get yourself on the list for success. Dress up as a state investment, turn the press. A breed from the seed of only one shot. Cry. Some of us are free to stand. Most of us are bound to lie. Oh, in those bloodstained beds, no one can afford to pay the prices on their babies' heads. I am the king of love. For every day you smile, I feel I'm not one of us. Coin for every plus on your stone. One more governmental blame, no drop from it by logic. Quite a bargain, I'd say, sells it away. You will live by the show of a day.
How's it going, everybody? How y'all doing? This is George Jones here. What we hear this music stuff we've been hearing right now? Is the music doing all right? We listening okay? We hearing okay? Oh my God! Oh my God! That was very, very loud in my ear holes, in my ear canals, in my ear canals. Oh damn! Oh, everything doing all right? We have good levels. Can you hear me and the music adequately? Is that all good? We're going to talk about what the final videos are going to be and stuff like that on Dead Militia. That's part of what this is all about. First thing I want to do is I'm going to call your attention to the left. If everything is good, then that's great. If you do decide that you wish to donate during the stream, we do have donations on. It is available. You can do it either through PayPal if you wish, either that or through the Super Chat feature that is right here on YouTube. Of course, I will add the disclaimer that YouTube does take some of your money if you use Super Chats, but that is really your prerogative, whatever you decide to do. If you decide to give, I'm exceptionally thankful and appreciative of that. Your donations go to living costs, considering I can't live for free. Cornell, one of the kitten that you saw in the starting soon graphic, he had surgery earlier this year. I'm still applying payments to his surgery. In fact, I have one coming up. Fun stuff. And also, I'm looking to get the fuck out of this place that I'm currently in right now, considering my weekend is shot because people in the apartments that are below us, because this is a 4-apartment building, they have cockroaches. So they're going to be bombing the entire building over this weekend, which includes this unit, thankfully, because I don't want no fucking cockroaches. Hell no. Infestations of any kind, unless it's a metal infestation, not cool in my book. Not cool in my book. So hello to everybody. Hi to Mango, to Mutter, to Water Blanc, to Thomas, to blah blah blah, to Ricardo, Jay, JLM, to all who happen to be here at this very moment, all 35 of you and steadily climbing, I do welcome you to the stream. I know that the last couple times we've been quote-unquote live, it's been a little different. That's been premieres for videos, something that I'm going to be doing for just about every video down the stretch here. The stretch run for CKN, because yes, like the video that was posted about a week and a half ago stated, closer to 2 weeks, I'll be stepping down from making content here on YouTube at the end of the year. Water Blanc coming through on Spotify with Narcissist by Thrash. God, do I love that song, and he freaking knows it. Bud Dean Langley, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. JLM, I too wish things that were a little bit different. But I will, I'm going to talk about a lot of different things. That was very Zelda. I've always known about that, but it's kind of ironic because I'm wearing a Zelda shirt. I look weird today, I noticed. I was recording a video earlier today, and I noticed how strange my whole freaking getup looked. Yeah, there'll be no more videos coming at the end of the year, so until Album of the Year 2019, which will take place during the middle portion of December, there will still be content that will be coming sporadically. The reason why I opted to do that, as opposed to just quit on the spot and retire on the spot, is twofold. First of all, I feel that everything needs to have its proper send-off. You know, bands do farewell tours all the time. We are a music channel. We deserve a farewell tour. We deserve a couple of months where we just kick ass and do everything in our power to kind of have one final run, one final ride. A little bit lower stress ride. There's not going to be videos every day. There's going to be streams still throughout the next 4 months. Content's going to be coming. We're going to be talking about the new Tool album. We're going to be talking about the new Kill Switch Engage album tomorrow. I have that video already shot. Just need to edit it real fast, and I'll toss that up tomorrow. God, I'm going to miss getting promos, I'll tell you that much. I still want to talk about the new Hemina album. I was originally going to just go over to their Bandcamp and do it that way, but I have a physical copy of the album that's coming from Douglas Skeen himself, so I would much rather do it with the physical product in my hand, because Hemina's been such a big-time supporter of the channel throughout the years. They've sent me a copy of each of their now 4 studio records. I'm so thankful for them. They're awesome. It's been a long, long time, but we definitely are going to be talking about the new Tool. We're definitely going to be talking about the new Opeth. There's a lot of bands on my hit list that are coming out with records in the next couple of months that I want to talk about one final time. I want to do a couple more topic videos similar to the one that we had earlier this week, which asked the simple question, is there too much music in 2019? You know, not as big of a video as, say, the new Slipknot or the retirement video or the new Tool album review is going to be like, but still, I like topics like that. They don't necessarily have to be ones that get 200,000 views. I like the fact that it encourages some conversation. It's always been why those have been there. I would like to do a couple of more of those. But the second reason is because I still have videos from you that you guys recommended, that you guys funded in Video Mania last year that I still have to produce. And I want to make sure that those go and get made prior to anything going down, because that's only fair. I don't particularly enjoy theft or stealing or feeling like I stole from you guys. You guys paid for content. That content will be here. It will be coming. We have 5 Reasons videos. We have Rank 'em All videos for bands such as Overkill, Killswitch Engage, Enslaved, Arion. We have one coming for Rush, Pink Floyd. There's a lot, actually, of Rank 'em Alls that need to be done, which they're a little bit more time consuming to edit by like an hour, but whatever. So that's going to be happening also. There's about 25 of those that need to be made. So I kind of look at them as the essential 25 that need to be done. As far as album reviews are concerned, I'm going to be very, very selective. So if I don't end up reviewing something that you would have liked to have seen, don't take any offense to that. Don't take that to mean that I don't care about that band or they're not good enough to be talked about one final time or anything like that. But I am trying to get a lot of sort of tie up a lot of loose ends and handle it all in a respectful fashion. You know what I'm saying? I want to do that in a way that is going to be fair to everybody, which is going to be impossible to do. It's going to be absolutely impossible to achieve, but you know me, I'm going to try to do it all because I'm stupid, because I'm a big old dummy. You'll have to give me just a second here, and I'm going to continue with what you should expect. I got a replacement phone yesterday, which was dreadfully needed because my previous phone stopped taking photos a while ago, about 2 months ago. And so this one, I finally got one. Oh God, I hate these. Select all images with palm trees. Yeah, pine trees. That one, that one, that one, that one. There. Yeah, good enough. Did I win? I win? Did I win? I won. Yay, I won. Winning. Am I switching platforms or quitting videos altogether? I am quitting videos altogether. I will be stopping making videos altogether. I'm just kind of done with them, if I'm being honest with you. Now, the channel itself, I've had a lot of folks that have been asking, hey, what is the fate of the channel itself? I mean, are the videos still going to be up there? Are they still going to be available to watch and all of that? Yes, they will. All of the videos that are on the channel, as it stands right now, will still be available. I have to go answer the door real quick. One moment. BRB. Just a second, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Quick neighborly activity that I had to engage in there. Thankful that I'm able to do that from time to time. Anyway, as I was discussing before, and we're going to get into Narcissus by Threshold here as I do so. Big time questions about what the fate of the videos that are already on the channel are. The fate is that they're going to stay on the channel. They're going to continue to be available. You're going to continue to be able to watch them. And yeah, so that all is going to still be going on. You'll still have those. And whenever I say that I'm stopping production of videos, that basically means album reviews, anything that's really music related. From time to time, you may see something come across your feed that has my name underneath of it, but if you do, it's going to be one of two things. It either could be a video on demand of a stream that happens, because there still will probably be intermittent streams taking place. Because I don't think that I'm going to be able to totally walk away from that. Because this experience here, I really like this. I really like sitting down with you guys from time to time, talking with you guys about music, about life, about anything. There's no real restriction to streams at all. I like that. And I kind of want to continue to do that. We have developed a nice family here on the streams. So that's why I encourage a lot of folks to hit the little bell. That way, if a premiere or a stream happens, especially a stream, you guys know that it's happening. So that right there is big time. You will probably see that, or you might see something that is very like sort of slice of life, or something that's sort of like me saying hello to everybody, a check-in of sorts, just to let you know, hey, I'm still alive, this is what's going on with my life, this is stuff that's going on with me with music, you know. I'm not in a band, I'm not doing anything like that. The biggest thing that I'm doing with music right now, besides reviewing it, is making a list of 1,180 albums that I wanted to buy in 2005, because I had a Century Media catalog and actually wrote down everything I wanted to get. I'm calling it for myself the 1180 Challenge. It's the stupidest thing that I could ever think of. Why in the world do I need all of these albums? I probably don't. I'll probably listen to some of them once and want to immediately sell them. But, it's one of those things where it's kind of just fun, looking at some of this stuff in Discogs or on Amazon or whatever, talking with people that have had these albums, maybe getting the opportunity to get a couple of them myself, and see how many of them I could acquire. There's some discographies that I'll be either completing by doing this, either that or some older stuff that I'll be gaining that I just sort of ignored whenever I was younger. Will I do 100 recommendations in December before I quit, like with the 50 recommendations? Reasonable Theist, I have no idea about that right now. That's really, really far off in the distance, if I'm being perfectly honest. Waterfall coming back with a €229. Both are when cannons fade. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing any recommendation videos like that or anything. I know that I want to do an album of the year. I'm probably going to need a little bit of assistance whenever it comes to worst of the year, because I've not heard a lot of like downright terrible albums this year so far, which has been kind of nice. But I've also not heard like a shitload of like amazing albums too. I've heard like I could easily do like a top 10 video for like the half part of the year, and I feel like I'd be leaving a lot out. So yeah, there's definitely that going for it. I need to do some math. Math is hard, please. Even those who still love you. Okay, thank you. To child, admiring yourself in the curve of my eyes. Oh, Narcissus, you angel beguiled. Anyway, well, I do a decade album. It'll be hard, but it'll be a great video. I may do some sort of retrospective of the albums of the year throughout the decade. I would do that before album of the... Well, I couldn't do it before album of the year 2019, I guess. But, I don't know. That's a really rough call. I'm not sure what I would want to do with that, if anything. Will I still be streaming in 2020? I will be, yeah. I will still be doing some streaming at that time frame. Like I said, because I really like this. I really like streaming. I'm not the most technically savvy whenever it comes to how stuff is set up and things like that. It's all still a very rough type thing. I'm still, exporting everything from actual, PayPal, like looking at the website and things like that. I don't have any of those fancy pants tools. Those might come next year. I don't know. I just really enjoy streaming a lot more than making videos. Although, I will say that I hadn't made a video in 4 months. I hadn't reviewed an album in 4 months whenever I reviewed the new Slipknot release. And I was really, really pleased with the way that review came out. I was really happy with that, and that to me was surprising. I thought that after 4 months of not doing it, I would be absolutely, first of all, rusty. I wouldn't have the same spunk or the tools or anything like that. I would just sound bleh and come off really flat. That didn't happen. It was just really smooth and seamless, and I'm surprised at that. Because whenever, right before the 4-month break from making videos, I felt like I was saying nothing that was new or groundbreaking, or it just felt horrible to talk about music in general, because I heard my own phrases 1,000 times before, So it's really nice that went as well as it did. What the hell? I have no idea who this is. Hello. Right. Whenever companies are masking themselves as residential numbers. Fun, 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 fun. This is Narcissus by the band Threshold. This is fantastic stuff. It's off of an album of theirs entitled Hypothetical. This was released in the first part of the 2000s, so this is the first Threshold album I ever owned. And began a kind of a, not really an obsession with this band, but a real respect for them. I love this disc to this day. I still have it. I'm never getting rid of it. You know. So awesome pick by Waterblanc. You know, typically if you want to have a song played on the stream, you do exactly what Waterblanc did. But the way in which that typically works is it's $1 per minute for the song. So if it's a 4-minute long song, $4 donation, etc., etc. And as I said at the onset, all donations are used for living costs, for veterinary bill for my cat Cornell, who had a rare birth defect that he needed operated on back in March. Of course, most of you who are here know all about that, considering we did the Get Well Cornell stream and things like that. And also will be partially used to try to get the fuck out of this apartment, considering my weekend is shot. Thanks to a cockroach infestation downstairs in the other apartments. Yum. They'll be bombing. Which also means I get to take 7 cats and myself to Miss CKN's, her parents' farm, which is Boredom City. Ugh. I'm not technically unemployed. This is technically my job. Probably part of the reason why I'm leaving my job. I'm fed up with myself. Waterblanc with the 229, showing how it's done with Dope DOD with Red Rum, by the way. But at any rate, yeah, we have to get out of here, Mario. We absolutely do. Or I have to, you know. Hell, at this point, I just want to run, kicking and screaming. What I really want to do, and it's not going to be very easy in the current situation I'm in, is I would really like to find a small little, like, house or something like that, because, God, I hate being in these, like, crammed freaking apartments. For a while there, it was fine because I didn't have a lot of stuff. I still really don't. But I'm recognizing that with my own music collection and the fact that I want to expand it and make it even larger than what it is, you know, go taking on this 1180 challenge or whatever the fuck I'm doing with it, I'm going to need more space. And really, just as I age, it just feels good to have a little bit more space at your disposal. You know, you don't feel like you're tripping all over yourself or all over like somebody else's stuff. When Cannons Fade coming up next from Bolt Thrower, once again recommended by our master and commander, Waterblanc. I'll make sure to have a couple of surprises in there also. Wow, it's a 2-minute long ad. No. Kill yourself. But yeah, oh man. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, that album reviewer guy. Oh, Evil Toad, you got fired. I am sorry to hear it. Man, you're having a year, aren't you, brother? You are having a year. Dude, 1,000 apologies. Best of luck to you in your future, dude. Finding something else. I can tell you, I know the struggle. I'm starting to look around at stuff. for the post YouTube dream, and man, and a lot of it ain't stuff I want to do. I'm going to tell you that. A lot of it is stuff I don't necessarily want to do, but I'm going to have to choose something. I'm going to have to do something. I remember whenever it used to be one ad instead of two. I sure do. That is not something that has been affected by the YouTubers, by the users. We didn't do that. We didn't ask for that. That's YouTube's doing that. And I'll be honest, I have no idea if that's meant that I've gotten double the revenue. Doubtful. Them doing something nice. That definitely didn't happen. Dean H, I'm glad that you really like Ashes Against the Grain. I'm a really, really big fan of the Mantle. I love Ashes Against the Grain too. Like, those are two albums where no matter which one you say is your favorite, you're not wrong, because they're just incredible albums. Agalloch is a wonderful band. Pale Folklore is no slouch also. Pale Folklore is another just mind-boggling album. Surfing in the Spear and the stuff that came after, Ashes, is a little bit like kind of up and down. You have some really, really solid stuff on there, but whenever you released albums such as The Mantle or Ashes Against the Grain, the bar is set so high that if you don't, that if you're even just like a little bit short of assailing those walls, it's always going to feel like a letdown, which is a shame. You're feeling a lot more channels are going to review the latest Swallow the Sun album soon? Probably not. I would highly doubt that. They may put that on end-of-year lists. That'd be about the height of the coverage, considering that came all the way out back in January. How come I don't fucks with Queens of the Stone Age? What, because I've never done a review of them? It just hasn't happened. I have nothing against Queens of the Stone Age. I just never reviewed them, as far as I know. There's some other good channels that give recommendations and do reviews. I never really talk about that often because it's pretty much my competition. I'm not 100% on everybody or what they're doing these days. I know that the Needle Drop is still doing stuff, and I know Runner JMA is still reviewing from time to time. I'm pretty sure Count Blaggeroth is done, or is only producing videos once in a great while. A lot of the original community from whenever I came up is gone. I know Duncan isn't doing reviews anymore. In fact, Duncan's in a band. Austin 3 Creation has been done for quite a long time. Yeah, I mean, I would say out of the original wave of reviewers that sort of came out at around the same time, I would say that the only ones that really remain are Anthony Fantano, myself, and then Runner JMA, and then from time to time Count Blaggeroth. I know there's a lot of smaller channels that are out there, JD's Music Reviews being one of them, and I know Thrash Metal Maniac was doing one, Levi, but I haven't seen anything from him in a long time. There's things here and there, I don't really know much about what the scene looks like. Unfortunately, I am not the master and commander of the scene. I am the master and commander of CKN Club. It sounds a lot like looking out for number one, but we were really close for a couple of years, and then, as they always say, life sort of gets in the way. Folks have to make their own choices and choose to live their own lives and do their own things. Dope DOD with Red Rum coming up next. This is another one recommended from Waterblanc. Again, if you want to get a song request in, be sure to include that with your donation via PayPal or on the YouTube side through Super Chat.
I will strike down with vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. The sky will turn blacker than terminal cancer.
Hi Cody, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We still have a couple months left though, remember that. We still do have a couple of months left, but it is quickly coming to an end. It is quickly coming to a conclusion. Thanks to Waterblanc for the 3 tracks. This is definitely a 180 from both Thrower and Threshold. I think a lot of folks, I think a lot of folks soured on Anthony because, for one, he doesn't talk about a ton of metal, and I know that that's a lot of the passion of the folks that are in the Cover Killer Nation. You guys are all pretty much unified in your love of heavy metal. So, just as just first off, a lot of the topics may not be really, up the alley of the conventional CKN fan. And then, of course, there's been sort of like the memes and the stuff that's come with it. But he's a very astute individual. He's very well learned. He's very well spoken. He's what you basically, if CKN talked more about not conventional music but more popular music, that would be where I would kind of want to be, or like I'd be like a little step below what Anthony does. He has a very keen ear. I think that he's a little bit better off with his vocabulary and identifying certain elements of songs. I liked always being the sort of the layman's reviewer, where a lot of it is about feeling, a lot of it is about the overall construction of an album, things that sort of emotionally trigger responses, psychologically trigger responses, things that are just real nice sort of to hear and flow, while also being analytical. You know what I mean? In a way, you have to look at that twisted view and recognize that he's not even doing that in a position where he's trying to be contrarian. Like, he backs up a lot of his claims with a lot of sound argument. Now, whenever things go off sort of on a little bit more of a social awareness tangent and stuff like that, I admit that he can go a little bit far at times, but he has a good ability to rein things in. I've got PayPal. Oh my gosh, I have actual PayPal alerts again. Who knew that all I needed to do is get a fucking replacement phone for that? That was annoying, man. Thank you very much in advance. Nuclear Horizons plus Sons of the Sea. With Orion Child. Received from Gamma Angel. Thanks, Waterblanc. That was sure interesting. So we're going to get Sons of the Sea. Or excuse me, we're going to get Nuclear Horizons and Sons of the Sea from Orion Child. I want to view this playlist real quick to see if maybe it is one right after the other, because that would sure be nice. But it is not. We'll start with Nuclear Horizons. Oh great, more ads. Yay, adverts. Oh, look how cute. It's a cute little baby. Get him off my screen. That was me at one point. It's a cute little baby. Thanks to Gamer Angel for that. Oh my gosh. And also thanks to JLM 2002 for Jesus Christ post from Soundgarden. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. Gamer Angel, the Arion video will be coming out before I retire. That's a guarantee. One of the big portions of retirement is getting all those videos out. I can't retire until that happens. not allowed. But yeah, that's one of the top priority stuff. One of the top priority things about all of this. As I continue to have to do math, because math is... shut up. Actually, don't shut up. Maru dropping 18. Maru coming through wants to hear a couple of different tracks. In fact, there's 4. In fact, pay special attention to what Maru does, folks, because this is the way to get a lot of stuff done real quick. She drops $18 for probably right around 18 or 19 minutes worth of music. We have Death Hawks, A Room with a View, Lord of the Lost with their song Till Death Do Us Part, Smackbound with their song Drive It Like You Stole It, and Beth Hart with her track War in My Mind. If you don't know Beth Hart, you're in for a treat. She's done some work with blues artist Joe Bonamassa, who is a beast. Pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, you just heard that sound effect? Yep. Later in August, Sacred Reich. Sacred Reich is, I believe, out tomorrow. Or was it last week? I think Sacred Reich is out. I get so many people that say thank you for introducing them to Agalog. I think that's the band that I've introduced the most people to. As weird as that feels, like it feels so strange that Agalog is that group. Especially considering I've spent so many years gushing over Opeth and like Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree, but I guess those are names that people know. Thanks, JLM, I appreciate that. I need to get this this total down here somewhat resembling correctitude. Which I know that's not the word. I don't care, it is for me. But thank you to both Maru and Gamma for those 2 very hearty donations. I appreciate that. We're right now in the midst of Gammas. We have 2 tracks from Gamma, both from the same artist, both from Orion Child. And you know that if it's from Gamma, it's probably going to be a good one. I don't want my camera. God, stop this. Keep it on. Get out of here. I have other things I need to do. Oh my gosh, and this pin number thing is about to freaking just... Oh, I'm getting mad at this. I still need to do a lot with my settings on this thing, because this is irritating. I'm irritated. So don't mind me, I'm doing a little bit of quick math here. Thanks to JLM, thanks to Maru. I need to add in Waterblanc's previous donation. And then get the $1.99 in from JLM, which I appreciate very, very deeply, my friend. Oh. God, you just have to love power metal sometimes. Sometimes power metal is just so fun. Like, people don't even understand. Some folks just don't understand. Waterblanc tapping in, popping off with another €2.29 for some Rapper Skewers with Zupen Krippen, which I just no doubt destroyed the language part of, because I'm really, really good at what I do, aka sucking at pronouncing things. Thanks everybody, I appreciate it. Oy. Kiara, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Ghost Fixer says that power metal is always one of your go-to genres. There's a lot of power metal on the 1180 list that I have. Alright, Evil Toad. You have yourself a good one, dude. I feel really bad, man. I feel really bad, dude. I'm hoping things get better for you, though, my friend. If you need someone to talk to, folks here in the nation are here. We are here. Why is this the last 4 months? Because I'm retiring at the end of this year. I'm done at the end of this year making videos. A lot of different factors. I did a whole retirement video about it, deep and dickin'. I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be, deep dickin'. Okay. I did a whole retirement video, or announcement, should I say, about a week and a half ago. So scope that out. It's up on the channel. If you are not a subscriber to the channel, you should still subscribe. You should still subscribe because the last 4 months are going to be freaking absurd. Shut the fuck up, sharing the joy of sushi. Wait, I shouldn't tell that guy to shut the fuck up. I like sushi. Sushi is delicious. I rescind my shut the fuck up. And I instead replace it with, come to my house with that sushi. But, talking about Fear Inoculum, I know that's a real big topic, is the new Tool song. It's been breaking records and doing all sorts of stuff. Maybe I should have done a track review on it. Seemed like a real cheap way to get a lot of views, but I didn't want to confuse people. Since the album itself is also called Fear Inoculum, it comes later on this summer. Later on this month, in fact, right at the end of the month, so we're really close to it. Only about 2 weeks away. So I figured, hell with it, we're just going to talk about the full album whenever it comes out. But I'm also going to do something else. I'm going to do a rank 'em all video for Tool. Shouldn't be that hard considering there's so very few of them. That'll come after the album is released because I want to put Fear Inoculum on the list. Now I know what people are going to say. People are going to say, man, how can you judge an album that quickly and put it on a list like that? Well, it's a little bit easier to do with Tool's discography considering it's so short, it's so small. Because I don't think I would be going to put on Salival for that. You know, I think that we would just be going with the main studio records. So you'd have your Enemas, your Undertow, Lateralis, 10,000 Days, Fear Inoculum. I think that'd be it, really, that I'd throw on there. But I will. I want to do that, and since there are only just the 5 main studio records, I mean that actually is a very cool invitation to a little bit more depth. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of cool for that. Kiara Sonata's music says, screw it, I'll be selfish and do self-promotion. Kiara Sonata, Heroes of Ragnarok. Kiara, you be selfish and you do self-promotion because I want to hear what you do. I want to hear it. I do. And I want to play it for these people because that's awesome. And now Static is like... and now Static is going to be sending another one of his tracks, which... we have 2 Static Syndrome album reviews coming in the next 4 months. Shameless self-promotion, all of us. We're all whores for ourselves. But what's interesting about that happening, and it happens often, you know, we support each other as part of this group. You know, that's the one thing that I have to say makes this group incredible. And makes streaming so much more worthwhile to me as opposed to the videos, is that we support each other like crazy in this community. But if you remember, a couple days ago we released that Is There Too Much Music in 2019 video, and we spoke specifically about, hey, if there's so many cooks in the kitchen, you know, what in the world are you know, who's your audience going to be? Are you going to have a big audience? Is it possible to have a big audience? Or are there so many groups out there, so many people that want their sort of 15 seconds that they are kind of being ignorant toward your side or toward other bands or other groups? You know, it's such a unique environment in 2019. And again, one of the biggest, I think, missed opportunities that exist in this world right now is that we are currently in a status where there's more music than ever before, and yet physical music stores are on the decline. As a human species, I'll go that far. I'll give it that firm, you know, I'll give it that firm peace. As a human species, we should be really, really let down. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Because imagine just all of the different folks that could be employed based off of there being fucking plastic that has CDs in it everywhere. I bet you the store size, first of all. It's incredible to think. Oh, you're gonna send a link over there, Static? That's fine. I said Diamond Eyes was avant-garde. I do remember that. I still do feel that it has the elements. It does have the moments. It does have the moments. Because I don't associate avant-garde with purely just being like over-the-top experimental. Oh, the next Megadeth isn't coming until 2020? That's a shame. That sucks. But here's the thing. I can't be like, oh, I'm going to come back for this. Because you start doing that for one, you just got to keep doing it for all of them. That's how that goes. That's how that goes. We're going to pop in Jesus Christ Pose from Soundgarden. Then we're going to get to this wimp over here. Jesus Christ Pose, just really good song. Really bad Motorfinger in general, just really good album. I've been getting a lot of ads. I guess that they're tossing King Animal from Soundgarden on vinyl, on a 2-vinyl set. And all I can think about is the fact that it was an okay album, you know, like, it wasn't necessarily the brilliant return to form that I think we were all hoping for, since we hadn't seen a new album from Soundgarden in a long time. But it was sure an album. It was sure an album that happened. Intestine Bowalism with Memory. Waterblonde coming through with another 229. I think everybody just likes watching me go back and forth between different apps to try to figure out this bottom part. I think eventually I'm just going to have to say screw it and abandon this. That'll get an actual counter. So many different styles of currency that are utilized. We are a very worldly group, and I do appreciate and love that. I think that is awesome. Super Unknown's a great album as well. We know the Orioles suck because they're the Orioles. Have you seen the Pittsburgh Pirates lately? Have you witnessed the just absolute unraveling of a team to the point where I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, fire our pitching coach? Because our pitching coach apparently ain't doing diddly shit to help these freaking players. I mean, that's just fucked. You know, apologies for the harsh language with that, but it's just the truth. PlayStation Metalhead, why does it hurt when I pee? Bye, Frank Zappa. To answer that question, I don't know. I don't know why it hurts when you pee. I did receive the donation status. Thank you very much. I did. I need to read it. That's what I need to do. Turtly. There's nothing to read. I'll just have to get it over. I'll grab it off of Discord whenever the time comes. Or when I come. Whichever comes first. Ew. Nasty, gnarly, yummy. All depending. Call me daddy. Yeah, GG indeed. God. This new Mayhem, I have a feeling it'll be the best extreme metal since 2015. I don't know, Eugene. See, that's the thing. They got really close a couple years ago of really just sort of reinventing the wheel with their last album. They're going to have to go into some weird places in order to do that, I would say. They're going to have to go some weird places to do that. Esoteric Warfare was a really, really out there record, and I think truly it was doing something that black metal was already doing, because black metal was already going on a very like weird and strange pathway. At least part of it is, you know, the way in which the genre is expanding. But Esoteric Warfare pretty much showed that one of the kings of the genre, you know, one of the real forefathers, is able to do that very same thing and do it damn fucking well. And again, one of the big benefits is Attila's vocals. Attila's range makes Mayhem such a creatively larger-than-life band, because now there is literally nothing that they can't do. Esoteric Warfare was Mayhem's take on Apagore. That's fair. That's actually kind of fair. With like any unblack metal band, I don't think I've listened to nearly enough to really even say that I do. I really don't. I don't follow the unblack metal term at all. So maybe that's why I'm struggling to really give a name. What are my thoughts on the new wave of thrash metal bands? Again, this is something that's been going on for probably the past decade. It's nice to see within heavy metal, but you know, they're having more of a gradual impact as they're maturing. And we saw this with like a band like Havoc, where their first couple of albums are really, really awesome. But then the stuff that they've put out recently has sort of taken it to that next level. It's something that's different than what they were doing previous, but at the same time, it just has a new air of maturity to it. Not just because it was, you know, politically conscious or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that shit. It was just the way in which they've constructed their music. You know? You didn't know Escape the Fate was Ronnie Radke's old band? Yeah, they sure were. That was sure a thing that happened. Tom G, 54 Alt M with £5 when they hear some wants to hear some of the Contortionist with Oscillator. I think I'm abandoning this thing down here. Amount. There. Is that just my screen where it looks like it says Alette? No, it's not. Why is there a little dot in between? That's dumb. That's really stupid. Hold on. Put a little dot in between the freaking L. But Waterblanc also coming in with another donation as well with Fluid Stars with Ale Dat Niet Omvat. Try saying that 15 times fast. Can I talk today, or is that illegal? I think it's illegal. So we have a couple tracks. We have 4, in fact, from Martyr that come up next in our list that we are following to the letter here. We're going to be as close to it as possible, as always. So first off, we have Death Hawks with A Room with a View, which Death Angel did a song of similar name. I'm curious if this is a cover, or if this is their own thing. I'm trying to remember if even the Death Angel song is an original, if that's a cover. Off the very top of my skull, I can't tell you. Dead Pixel. Those are just, I don't know, it's weird. It's just the style that font uses, I suppose. But thanks to everybody, we have 4 tracks coming from Mara. This is the first one. Directly after that, we will have a track from Waterblanc. We have Rapper Skjos with Zeupen Krepen. And then Chiara Sonata coming with Heroes of Ragnarok. Static Syndrome coming down later on with his with a track from his own album, which I will retrieve off of Discord when the time comes. Intestine Ballism coming with Memory from Waterblanc. Why Is It Hurt When I Pee by Frank Zappa, which was requested by PlayStation Metalhead, coming directly after that. Oscillator by The Contortionist, and then the aforementioned Blue Stars with Alle Dat Niet Omvat, which was requested from Waterblanc. So we still have a nice queue going. I will be taking a break very shortly. Which 2 albums are you actually reviewing? The 2 I thought existed. Really enjoying this. This is awesome. This is what it's all about. Oh yes. I'm looking at something real fast. So apologies. Now you do have a little bit more than I expected. For some reason I thought that there were some different things on here. Anyway, we'll get there. Oh, this is just so calming. So freaking calming. I love it. Astros are the Thanos of the MLB. They're overpowered. Ha! Coldplay. The stuff that they're putting out now, I'm not like the biggest fan of, but holy crap! Their first like 4 or 5 albums are amazing. Oh, they're so good. I could actually go to a drawer right over there, and I could just pull out Coldplay albums. Like that's just what I would do. That was amazing. That was really, really cool. Not at all a cover at all of any Room with a View that I've heard prior to that. Just a really great, solid... It really sounds like... That sounds like a 70s or almost like late 60s psychedelic revelation is happening in other corners of this world. You know, places that are currently better than America. So we have Lord of the Lost coming up next with Till Death Us Do Part. I, of course, am used to saying that the other way. Okay. Why are there multiple versions of this? Oh, because that's a music video, which means that it's going to be 2 extra minutes of crap that we don't need. Here is Lord of the Lost with Till Death Us Do Part. A little bit of a twist there on the saying that you are used to seeing. It's the best concert that I've ever been to. Best concert I've ever been to is a really hard question to answer, because I've been to a lot of really great ones. Porcupine Tree and Big Elf. I got to see Porcupine Tree during the Incident Tour. That was just a brilliant, brilliant show. Immortal and Apsu, I saw in a church, traveling down in an absolute blizzard. So it only was fitting that I went to see Immortal during a blizzard. You know, went to see the Blizzard Beasts while they blizzarded. They brought the fucking blizzard with them. Was lucky to get home that night. That was something else. Both Gigantors that I attended were amazing. I have to say, folks can kind of throw shade at Dave Mustaine all they want for whatever reasons that they want to, but dude knew how to put on a festival for the first 2 years of its existence. Both of those Gigantors were fantastic. Seeing Overkill is always amazing. I've seen them 3 different times. Iron Maiden was my first major concert. My first major concert was Iron Maiden, Motorhead, and Dio. And in fact, Motorhead was the opener. Whenever Motorhead is the opener of your show, you know you're at a good show. It's a crazy show. I'd say one of the biggest surprises of a couple of the surprises of my concert-going experiences have been mostly non-metal. For example, I was surprised how good Breaking Benjamin was live. I saw them a couple years ago. Faith really likes them. I was surprised The Cure went for 2.5 hours, which they did. They were there with a band called The Twilight Sad, which I now really, really like. I think that they're pretty damn good. There was one other one. Well, fuck. Heart is also really, really fun and really great to see live. I saw Heart a couple years ago, and I originally it was Cheap Trick. So now I've seen Cheap Trick twice. Joan Jett, who honestly was disappointing. Joan Jett was super disappointing live. I'm going to be just honest with you. That was really, really disappointing. And then Heart, which were just awesome. Like, there are songs of Hearts that I can remember being in like a dermatologist or like a dentist's office and hearing whenever I was a kid, you know. And those songs weren't really even that old at that point. In fact, they were still, you know, actively producing material, and they still are. You know, it's not like that's necessarily over. But you know, you hear those songs on like, you know, soft rock stations or like the easy listening stations. You're hearing songs like These Dreams from Heart, and yet, you know, here I am, 20 plus years after that, seeing them live and in concert. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Motorhead being first in a lineup on a show is, these days, feels like it's heresy. But it is not. It was a really, really awesome show. Great way to first get into, you know, I guess get into going to shows and stuff like that. Here's Drive It Like You Stole It by Smackbound. Not SmackDown. This isn't WWE. This is Smackbound. At the moment, just from the viewpoint that I've got, if she's gonna smack me, then sure, do it. Bring it. Guess who's been singing alone at the karaoke bar? Would that be you, Morrow? Have you been singing that at the karaoke bar? That is awesome. Yeah, Iron Maiden, I would say, is an absolute must-see. I've seen them 3 different times. And just every time they bring something new to the table. You know, every time they bring something just a little bit new to the table. Something that you're not expecting. I remember whenever I saw them the second time, which was... It was actually during the Ozfest tour, was it? I don't remember. Crap. I have to go back and look at old tickets, but the second time that I saw them, I had gotten a ton of their albums. Because whenever I first... Oh no, it might have been the first time. Well, whatever time it was doesn't really matter. I remember I really wanted them to play Revelations. And thought that there was no way that it would happen. Because Revelations is not really like this. It's not really like a single song or anything like that. It's kind of like this fan-heavy like love song, and then they played it, and I was like, oh yes, oh god, beautiful, it's wonderful. Wonderful, happy early birthday to you, and Maru. I kind of wish that I was in that karaoke bar listening to that cover because. I have a bit of a soft spot for Heart. Not to mention, their cover of Stairway to Heaven, they did that live, which is pretty commonplace for Heart. It's usually part of their encore. Their version of Stairway to Heaven is amazing. It is just fantastic. Yeah, there you go. That's a great comparison, you know. If there's a song that you really hope to hear from a band and they end up playing it live, you know, despite the fact that you feel like, man, there's like no chance they're going to do this, it always feels really good whenever it happens, doesn't it? You know, doesn't it feel really, really, really good? Like, I remember right after the album came out, I saw the Black Dahlia murder, and I really wanted them to play Raped in Anger and Vines of Thorn, just simply because it was an obvious reference to Evil Dead, and you know, something that was really, really big in my household at that time, because Ash vs. Evil Dead was about to start, which who knew that was going to start its own obsession of crushing on Kelly. But they didn't end up playing it, and that was disappointing. That made me sad. I was like, oh damn it, they didn't play the song I wanted them to play, and oh man, it made me sad. It made me sad. Beth Hart with War in My Mind coming up next. Oh, Beth Hart, you beautiful, beautiful lady. Just great stuff. Again, if you don't know Beth Hart, she's worth scoping out. Again, not metal at all. Not metal at all. More blues oriented.
Grammar?
Oh, shut up. Fuck. There's one thing I hope gets eradicated completely from YouTube. It's Grammarly ads. But yeah. I've actually, this is one of the first years that I don't think we've gone to a show this year. I don't think we've gone to a show yet this year. I know I haven't. And that's real odd for me. Yeah, new Beth Hart's coming out, I believe, next month, September 27th, I want to say. Yep, September 27th. Crowbot? I don't know. They're not on my hit list, but I may make an exception. I don't know. Musician? Yeah, if you notice, I had that Guitar Tricks ad on my videos for a long time in the description box. I'm getting rid of those. That was a disaster. That was a failed thing right there. Again, I will again say, John, have you seen the Pittsburgh Pirates lately? But Brian Reynolds. Macklin, I really don't see myself returning to making videos full time after the retirement. I just don't think I'm going to have that kind of spark again. I've done it for so long, and I'm not gonna lie, the 4 months between album reviews and really between videos, it felt pretty good. And I think that's why retirement started to feel like a really good option, because it felt really good. And I didn't feel like I was being very robotic, or, you know, I felt like my craft was sort of wasting away. I was saying just the same things again and again. I was kind of becoming a parody or a meme of myself. And every time I tried to find the new voice, or the thing that was going to make me feel that, you know, CM Punk famously stated that he went as long as he could, so long as he could reach down and find the passion to go out there and perform. And that one day he went to reach for that, and there was none. He couldn't find it. He couldn't find any more. That's pretty much what's happening. I reached to find the passion, the energy, the strength, you know, everything. I reached to find the thing that I always reached down and got, you know, after a kind of a slow start past 2 years, and didn't find it. And despite how pleased I am with the recent videos I've made, including the one that's going to come out tomorrow for Killswitch Engage, it isn't that I feel that I have found reinvigoration to press on beyond 2019 and into 2020 and beyond. It is that sort of feeling that becomes more like Dean Ambrose, where I know that the end is coming and I want to give everything I can to it. You know, I don't want to just phone it in. I don't want to phone it in at all. So all of your support during these last couple of months is the biggest thing. That song was called "War Within My Mind," or "War in My Mind," should I say, from Beth Hart. Beth Hart is fantastic. She's a blues artist. Has worked, does some jazz as well. From time to time, works or has worked a couple of times with Joe Bonamassa, who's just an excellent guitar player, bluesman in his own rights. So rest in peace, still my number one. Yeah. It's not something I've thought about for a long time, if I'm being realistic. Like, I don't have an active list of my top 10 albums of all time and have it shift around like the Billboard Top 200 list. Man, remember whenever those lists were a thing that actually, you know, felt like they meant something? I don't remember either. That was way too long ago. This thing's been bought and sold for a long time. What's that? What have I said is the worst thing that's ever pure? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what just happened. Muse? Is okay. That new Muse. I liked it because I liked certain parts of it. I felt like they were going in some really cool directions with it, and I kind of enjoyed what they were doing with it. Because it showed that they had some definite ideas of where they wanted to go and what they wanted to do. I need to go find out which track of Statics that I'm going to be playing. After I play... Oh wait, I'm not there yet. Whoops. I'm not there yet in the list. I am stupid. We're at Rapper Skewers with Zupin Kruipen. Hello. Oh yeah, it would probably help if I actually press play on the stupid thing, right? Yeah, it would. Thanks, Mark. You're welcome, Mark. Love you. Oh dear. We start off with a sultry lady with a little microphone and fart noises. I love it. Fart noises from a speak and spell.
Hey, we gaan nog niet naar huis, nog lang niet. Nog lang niet. We schreeuwen het geluid, nog lang niet. Nog lang niet. Zuipen, kruipen, zuipen.
Planet Carver.
Here, let's go. Zuipen, kruipen,
Ah,
zuipen.
no problem.
Let's go. Here, let's go.
Got it. So, XM, how you doing?
Maar ik geef niet uit. Ik nodig dames uit, want ze gaan niet meer naar huis. Ik heb bier, wijn en een paar.
Oh, you're talking about Rip Mark?
Alles gaat
Ah.
Vraag het maar aan Bissy. Eerst was
Gotcha,
het
gotcha,
niks.
gotcha.
En nu zijn ze tipsy. Ze komen nu terug als ze weggegooide fris. Kruipen.
Sounds like a Fast and Furious soundtrack. Hey,
Alle chicks nu.
it might be.
Elk feestje is gefixt als je met rappershows komt zuipen.
Every time I hear some of this stuff, I immediately kind of go back to the days of the late 90s, where I remember that electronic music was a real big part of culture.
Here, let's go.
You know, there were whole soundtracks that were just filled with a lot of the great electronic music that was coming from both Britain, Europe in general. There's some over here in the States as well. You know, you got a lot of stuff from bands like the Chemical Brothers, Crystal Method was big there for a couple of albums, which I absolutely love, by the way. Weekend in Vegas are both just monumentally amazing albums. Tricky, Orbit, William Orbit, Orbital, Paul Oakenfold. You know, of course, you had the Mortal Kombat theme, stuff like that. Oh man, Prodigy, the frickin' Prodigy. BT was out there. There was a lot in that era, and a lot of good stuff too. You know, like I don't know about you. I've never gotten really deep into like the vaporwave stuff. Like a track here and there, I end up really liking, and just is very chill out and stuff like that. But there have never been any artists within the vaporwave movement that I have attached myself to and followed, I guess, if that makes any sense. But yeah. So yeah, we're gonna make it to up to Static's track here, which comes after Kiara Sonata with Heroes of Ragnarok, which, like I said, I'm excited to hear. I really want to hear this. Yes. Play it, do it, yay. Oh my gosh. Oh, that sounds epic. Hell yeah. Don't delete my old videos? I won't be. I will not be at all. I will not be, call CKN because of my Linkin Park reviews. Man, this is like 2? I forget. Snorts power metal cocaine. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! What's life without a little power metal cocaine? Yeah, unfortunately, whenever it comes to new stuff, I mean, I have not gotten a lot of moments. I have not had the moments like I've used to. And even just this week, I have been away from sort of the office for most of this week. Despite, I live in my office. Because the preparation for this bombing shit that they're doing this weekend is absurd. I got the cover shit, and I have to oh my god, it's just so dumb. I don't even have words anymore. Plus, at the same time, I'm also preparing for 7 other things. My dad, my poor father, lives 2 miles that way, Those of you who are regulars, you know all that. That man has had a month to fucking forget. I'm telling you what, all the different things that he has had to do over the course of the past month, man, oh man. I just, oh boy. I'm not sure how he's surviving all the different stuff that he's doing. It all involves, members of the family and stuff. It's nothing that can be avoided. Yeah, Hamina, Gamma Angel, I'll be talking about that album. Originally, I was just going to go with the Bandcamp version. That way I could just get the review out. But then Doug Skeen talked with me. He's sending me a copy of the album. So I want to do the review whenever I have the album in my hand to show it to everybody and all that. Because they are still a band that they need more attention. They really do. Which is a shame that there's a lot of bands like them that need that same attention. Like Desona or I just lost the name. That's amazing. Fuck. There's a lot of bands that are very similar. That really deserve that attention. We're basically knocking on the door. Prospect. There we go. I knew if I kept talking, I'd eventually come to it. Come to it. Jeez. But anyway, Samina is a band that's just tremendous. They're so good. And for a future stream, though, I will be purchasing a couple of copies of the digital album, and I will be offering that as a stream prize a little bit later on, either this month or during the first part of September. So that is going to happen. That is going to be happening. So we will have some prizes throughout the remainder of the year. Obviously we'll have some donation incentives and things like that we're still going to do. We're going to treat this 4-month stretch like it's the biggest, most important thing that we got to do in this world. Until the last couple of years, there were a few rants and the passion was diminishing. I just burnt myself to a crisp after 2016, dude. And the thing about the rants is that I've at times gotten happier, or I don't feel kind of as damning toward things. And the thing about the rants is that I can't do it if it's fake. I can't fake it. Kiara, that was awesome. That was freaking really cool. You should be very, very proud of yourself. And I know that you are, but you should be really, really proud of your work. That is awesome. It sounds really great. Damn. Bravo, my friend. Bravo. I really, really hope to see a lot more. I can't believe See, I can tell you for a fact that YouTube eats subscriptions sometimes, because I know I subscribed to you a year ago, and now it says that I wasn't subscribed to you. Oh wait, maybe I'm subscribed to your main. Do you have both a main and then also one for music? Do you have 2 channels? That might be where I made the error. The Planet Carver from Static Syndrome. That's what's coming up right now. Coming to your face. Ooh, that bend. This is called the Planet Carver from Static Syndrome. Our own Static Syndrome, who's right here in chat. He can talk to you. He can maybe look at you. Well, okay, maybe not you, but the concept of you, man. The Planet Carver is off of an EP of his entitled Face of Dreams, 2017. I do believe we've actually listened to this on stream before. In fact, I can almost guarantee that we have. Cool shirt. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. How much longer is the queue and the stream? Right now, the queue is currently at... I need to actually take a look here because I'm not sure myself. We have... anything on this side? Don't. Oh God. Excuse me. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 tracks left on the queue. We have 4 tracks left on the queue after this one. I'm going to actually be taking a short break after this, and then I'll be right back. Stream, I would like to have go until like 6 or 7, maybe. Slide CKN and notify to play my crappy music. Crappy music? Oh, you deleted your old channel. That's why. Okay. Well, I am subscribed to the new one now, so... So we're going to play the March to Hell from Kiara a little later on. That's pretty awesome. The main topic, you kind of missed it, Hell, is talking about what the final 4 months, what you can expect from this channel. Aside from that, these streams usually don't have a topic. The last couple live events have, because they're premieres. So you get to see a new video first before anybody else. So that's stuff that you should definitely, it's worth having that little bell rung. And that little bell rung next to the subscribe button. That way you can see videos before other folks whenever they're premiering and stuff like that. Soundtracks from games, what would I recommend? VVV. Absolutely incredible soundtrack. I was surprised that Dusk had a really amazing soundtrack. Bastion has an incredible soundtrack to go along with just being a really beautiful game. You can never go wrong with old Mega Man stuff. Old Mega Man games from the NES have just incredible soundtracks. They've been remixed and remastered and redone 1,001 times. But each and every one of them has been worth it. So you have to kind of look at it that way. I review Slipknot's new album. Reviewers have special privileges sometimes. Promo copies. Promo copies, my dude. If you ever have to wonder about that, promo copies. Now, back in the day, back in the early days, you could tell that, or the only way in which I was able to review stuff early is because it leaked. That was the only way I could do it back in the day. These days, I don't have to resort to that. It still happens from time to time. But it usually only happens with bands that I don't have like any sort of relationship with, either the label or like a promotions manager or anything like that, which I don't have many left. I listened to it from the leak though. No, I did not. Now there is one thing I can confirm to you is that the promo and the leak, somebody uploaded. Somebody, I'm almost positive, uploaded a promo version or a promo copy for the leak. That much I can almost guarantee, because I did end up downloading it afterward whenever folks were asking about it, and it sounds identical. Out of all the horrible albums you've heard, what was the hardest to listen to? Frequency Unknown from Queensryche comes to mind simply because I know that that was completely and totally done as an earnest way to try to say fuck you. And I don't like that. Catharsis was really rough though. Like, I'm being honest. That 14-minute steamy potato indeed. Good God. I see you. Why aren't you showing up? You need to show up, like, right now. Hello? Okay, fine. I'll just click on that. Y'all can suck my dick. Witnessed by Tanagra from Gamma Angel. Being a bro, being a dude. That was the Planet Carver from our own Static Syndrome, ladies and gents. Not bad work. Not bad work. What do you think about the new Tool song? It's alright. I think my opinion of it will be better whenever I have the rest of the album to provide context. Because as of right now, it just sounds like a reskin of the track Reflection from Lateralis. Same build style. Only this build goes on forever. And we have a much smaller payout for it. Or much smaller payoff for it. Kind of worried about the upcoming Machine Head song, Do or Die? Oh. Please tell me that's coming out before I retire. Because God, do I hope it's awful. You're missing rants. I need to talk about a Now album one last time, too. I'd do one of those. Oh God. He wrote the song after they... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, God. What do I think about the transition from stores having CDs to stores having vinyl? It's freaking weird sometimes. Especially considering vinyl these days are really expensive. Vinyl these days are pricey. So in one way, it's really cool, considering it shows sort of like that turn back the clock feeling toward everything. By the way, thank you to Gamma Angel and to Kiara for the 2 most recent donations. We're going to get into some tracks after a short break, but I just want to mention real fast. It's weird to see vinyl be $25. And that's kind of like what's preferred. It's an odd sight. I like vinyl a lot. I like wax a good bit. I have a small collection that used to be a lot bigger, but I've liquidated a lot over the past couple of years. It's really, really heavy, and most of it was old classic rock stuff that I could care less about. But it's really odd to see that being... It's odd to see vinyl at Walmart. Let me just throw that out there. Going to Walmart and seeing vinyl there and having it be... Like, you're seeing stuff on vinyl that you wouldn't expect, and you wouldn't expect the crowd to want it on vinyl. Like, I saw a Meghan Trainor vinyl and thought to myself, who is giving a shit about this? That White Ward song? Oh, somebody should really, really donate to hear that. Actually, no, they shouldn't. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play that song during the intermission here. We're going to play that. We're going to play the new White Ward song during the intermission here because, oh, hot damn Cheerio, is that a motherfucker of a song? So I will be back very, very shortly. I just need to get up, stretch my legs, and actually Miss CKN is probably home at this point, so I do want to, be kind. Just need a short little break. But in the interim, stick around because while I am gone, the track that you're going to be hearing is from a band called White Ward, and the track is entitled Love Exchange Failure. This is taken from the album of the same name, which is coming out in September 20th of this year. Yeah, we're talking about this album. it's on my hit list because Futility Report from White Ward a couple years back was a hell of a surprise. A hell of a good one to boot. So, enjoy this while I am on break. And I will be with you guys once again momentarily. Pardon me. And we will finish up the remainder of the requests. And, yeah, have some more fun. Enjoy this. This is awesome. What are you thinking so far, folks? Oh, such a freaking sexy song. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Brand new album from White Ward coming out. Love Exchange Failure. Drops on the 20th of September. Don't really think it would fit on Futility Report. Doesn't have to. It's on its own album. Song title is Love Exchange Failure. Hi! What you doing? Come here. We have a guest. We have a guest. What you doing? What you looking at? What you see? Huh? Hey. Blazy. Blazy. Oh, you don't want to be in camera. She doesn't want to be on camera. What a track. What a track. Let Blazy back out. Oh, there's Cornell too. Hello. What's everybody doing? You went in or out? Make a choice. Choose for me, Bubby. We have kiddos in here, but they're all just looking at the door. They wanted in, but now they want out. Look how big they're getting. Look how big. One on the left is Blazy, the one on the right is Cornell. They are going to be a year old on Saturday. Can you believe that? Oh, we have Mittens. We have the old patriarch here. What is your message to the world, Mittens? His message is get that camera out of my face. Message is get that camera out my face. That was a hell of a damn thing. That was a hell of a thing. Have I been well? Oh man. I've been here. I exist. I exist is the best thing that I can say. I'm gonna get Corny out of here. He wants to leave. So does Mittens apparently. Ember! Oh, before we go. There's Ember. There's Ember. She's like, what's going on? What's this thing? What's this thing? Ember and Blazy and apparently Corn Puffs. Those aren't mine. Donate for kitties. Oh God. There's plenty of them. What's that? Go ahead. Go ahead. I got a good picture of cat butt. I'm pretty sure I'm getting demonetized now. Cornell. He's like, what's going on? Alright, well, close this door, Bubby. Oh no! Okay. Cat cuteness overdrive. How many cats do I have? Oh, we have 7. We have 7 right now. Originally, whenever the kittens were born, we didn't have plans on keeping most of them. We were only going to keep Cornell because he was the only male, and we had all males before that. But we both mutually fell in love with Blazy. I fell in love with Mama I fell in love with the mother cat, Christmas, who I still affectionately call my girlfriend. And Ember, there was actually a couple of adoption opportunities that fell through, and then fell freaking head over heels in love with her. So yeah, we originally only had 3. Hope the best for Cornell. Oh, he is a real cool cat. He's been doing really well since the surgery, but I'll tell you what, the old pocketbook has been freaking hurting like hell ever since that surgery. And that was even with having pet insurance. Because they do pet insurance now. The camera somehow got turned. Let's do a little adjustment on that. Oh, now it's the other way. There we go. That's better. That works. That works. Okay, up next we have some Intestine Ballism with Memory. That's the next track that we have on our journey through the second half of the stream. We'll probably be going for another hour and a half, and then we're going to call it a day, because I have more preparation to do for this coming weekend. It just never ends. It just really never ends. That's the one thing I will say about my life, is that it never ends. Ew, that's gross. I named him Cornell after Chris's passing. We did very similar. We did something very similar. He has a soul patch, if you notice, like underneath his mouth, very much resembling Chris Cornell's goatee. So he just looked like a Cornell. If that makes sense, he just looks like a Cornell. He just really looked like a Cornell whenever we named him, and that was just perfect. It was absolutely perfect. So I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with him. Happy with all of them, really. Like, to the point where I have to defend it. Like, I have to defend it to folks that think that it's too much. You know, there are a lot of folks that feel like that's a too big of a number. And I'll even admit that it was not the plan, but you know, at one point we had 8. You know, there was another kitten that was in there that did get adopted out. She got adopted out, rehomed to a mutual friend of ours who had just lost a cat. She had a cat that had passed away and had a lot of other stuff go on in her life, like really right around the same time. And she took Amelia in, renamed her Hilda, and oh god, she's just flourishing. She's doing so well. She's doing so well. This is Intestine Ballism with Memory off the album Banquet in the Darkness. Banquet in the Darkness being the full title of the record. How am I still alive with 7? Well, PlayStation Metalhead, I think the big thing is that cats are very independent creatures. So throughout most of the day, like, whenever I'm here throughout the day, a lot of times they are napping. They are very independent. They are very self-sufficient. You know, they want love, obviously, and we give them plenty. That's the thing. Like, Cornell will have you, if you pick Cornell up, he will lay in your arms indefinitely, like until you say, okay, it's time to be put down, Bubby. And then he'll turn around and he'll kind of look at you like, why'd you do that? Why'd you put me down? And he'll like stretch out, he'll like stand on his hind legs, and he'll stretch onto you and put his front paws on your leg like, hey, you know, pick me up again, pick me up again. And you just have to like reiterate with him, and it's like, you know, maybe a little later, buddy, or, you know, why don't you come follow me where I'm going, you can lay next to me. He cleans me. He cleans me, dude. Like, I love it. I think I'm the weirdest person on earth, because a lot of folks all say, man, I hate, you know, I hate the feeling of a cat tongue. You know, I hate a cat tongue on my body. Dude, I love the feeling. I think it's incredibly therapeutic. Any chance we get another bad song stream? Yeah, we might get one more. We might get one more. Well, I gotta say, like, one thing about ours is that they've, for the most part, always been indoor cats. Christmas was outside for, I'd say, a good portion of her second year on Earth. She had actually been the neighbor's cat a couple of doors up. In fact, she had a litter, and those kittens ended up there with her. But she kept on wanting to go back outside, and the neighbor didn't know what to do, so she just let Christmas out and let it go, you know. So it was just, it was like one of those questions, you know, what do you do? And so last summer, so a year ago, really, actually a year and a month ago, there was an outside cat that was out here that now has since moved on to another location. They would come up to my back porch, they would climb the stairs and everything, and I would feed them on the back porch. Christmas was one of them. And the whole reason why we even got Christmas in the first place was that we noticed that she was pregnant. And whenever we noticed that, we wanted to bring her in and make sure that the kittens were born in a safe place, because I live right off of directly right off of not so much a major highway, but it's a pretty busy highway, or a busy roadway. So it would be really easy for a kitten that's inexperienced to walk right into a busy road and potentially suffer a really bad fate. It has happened in the past, and anytime that it's ever happened, it has been a very, very sad day in this household, because we don't care if they're not one of our cats. You know, it's part of the cat family. You know, it's part of the kitty family, and it's really, really sucky to see horrible things happen. You know, I'd feel the same way if it was a dog. You know, that's another thing that I have to really, I think, spell out for some folks, is that I don't necessarily dislike dogs. My downstairs neighbor has a huge dog that, like, I can't get anywhere close to, because he's just real defensive toward his master. But, you know, he has dogs, neighbors have dogs, don't care. I think that's awesome. I think there's, it's really just based off of what you prefer. I'd probably have a dog in my life at some point, but I am very preferential toward cats, I would say. They've helped me through some really tough times. The oldest was the brown one that you saw on camera very briefly, that was sitting right to my right. His name is Mittens. He turned 7 years old this year, which is crazy, because I remember whenever he was much, much younger than that. And I kind of still wish that he was, because I don't want any of my cats to die, because I'm a child and want my friends to be with me forever. You can say that that's cute, or you can say that I'm stupid. You can do whatever you want, really. Why does it hurt when I pee? That's our next song from Frank Zappa. Why does it hurt when I pee? Off of Joe's Garage. Do I remember the band Infested? They are long gone, but you have compilations, satanic serenades of other tracks a couple days ago. I actually have an Infested album on... Oh, the echo's back. Got it. Here we go. But I actually have Infested on the list of the 1180 that I want to purchase. There's an album of theirs that's on that. I know that for a fact. Is the echo still there, or is it better? It should be better now, because I'm getting a video output low feature over here, so that might partially be on YouTube's behalf as well, because apparently YouTube is struggling. I don't typically stream on Thursdays. Remember, there is chat delay. Remember, there is chat delay as well. What happened? YouTube happened. As long as I have been on this platform, there has always been audio and video issues. Oh boy. We have something from Maru that we need to get over to. And Maru says some weird Finnish music. We have Picate with Turvascanto. The second track we have Me Nascent with Morrisman Itkis. Bride's Weeping Song. Back in the old days when girls got married, the wedding were held at their father's home. Everyone tells how good her childhood home is and how bad her new home is going to be. Oh, jeez. That's just rude. That's just rude. The purpose of this is to make the bride weep. If she wouldn't cry at her wedding, she'd cry all her life. Culture. Unionos with Tuin and Hot. Wedding at the Underworld. Oh. I feel as though this is one part donation, one part one part wedding proposal. I feel like I'm being proposed to right now. And you know what? And the answer is yes. Yes, I will marry the knight. I need to bring up the list. In fact, the list is very available for folks to see. I'm gonna get up the next track. Our next track is The Contortionist with Oscillator. But yeah, the list is available for folks to see. It's on Google Drive. I call it the Bible purchase list, but it's now taken on the shorter, better name of the 1180.
Braxton was diagnosed with chloric plexus carcinoma.
I really don't care what Braxton was diagnosed with. You can shut the fuck up. Thank you. I think what we really need to say is Braxton's a little shit. The track title for that last song was Why Does It Hurt When I Pee by Frank Zappa. But yeah, that link that I just posted over in chat, which you'll hear about, once chat delay evaporates. That link right there shows all of them. Shows everything. Everything from the 1180. It's not updated totally, so I actually need to post the new version of that file over top of that. Because that shows stuff that's on my want list on Discogs and stuff that I possess. But there is an Infested on there, and also a Lockup. I have a Lockup album. I have Pleasure's Cave Sewers, which is, excuse me, it's a Hypocrisy Side project. Hypocrisy Side project earlier than that. Thank you, Tomorrow, for the marriage-themed alert. So we have a couple more tracks that's going to be on our queue. Right now our queue stands at 1, 2, 3, 6. 6 tracks left after this. Yes, winter is unfortunately coming, Mario. The way I notice it every single season, or every single year should I say, is that in August is right about the time that you get really, really used to the sun going down at like 9:15 p.m. at night. And then slowly but surely you look out your window at like 8:15 or 8:10 or 8:05 and it's already starting to get dark and you're just like, I love the sunlight, that's the thing. I'm vitamin D deficient, which is always a laugh. That's vitamin D. But I love summer. Summer is usually whenever I flourish. This has been the first summer that has not been true in a very, very long time, and I don't like that, obviously. Because every summer I try to do something really, really fun, whether it's something that is part of the, my music collection, or try to get to some shows, or go to the drive-in at least once or twice, maybe take a little vacation, or like go somewhere, visit a place. But there's just been nothing this year. It's been nothing but headaches this year because of where we're at. Maybe I should just move to Scandinavia and say the hell with it. Either that, or like, I don't know, move to the equator or San Diego. I've been, kind of, Okay, this is all 100% YouTube, by the way. Just to throw this out there, the current issues that you're seeing is all YouTube. Because I had a thing that said that the stream completed, so it's gonna like pause and just die for a second. If that hasn't happened for you already. But over on OBS, everything is running smoothly. I don't have dropped frames. Oh, I do have a couple of dropped frames, but not many. Well, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I knew that Infesto was one of Dan Swane's projects. He had a ton of projects in the late 90s and 2000s. I'm still a really big fan of his Nightingale project. Love it. You know what I'm going to do after I'm done with YouTube? I'm going to be one of them there blue collar folks with one of them legitimate jobs. Maybe I'll get a job in the private sector. I don't know exactly what it's going to be yet. I'll tell you one thing, it's going to have to pay better than this, which won't be hard to accomplish, but I'm talking like it's going to have to be a big step up. Because one thing that I'm very, very tired of is living with a lot of fear whenever it comes to finances. And even whenever I've been okay, where I've had plenty of clearing, I still like clench my fists in my ass about it, considering within this style of business, you have one bad month, or if you have like one or two bad months, or you enter into the first portion of the year, like here's the thing, you are guaranteed to get bullshit, really jack and squat whenever it comes to payment on YouTube between January to about April. So your first 4 months of the year, everything that you are getting nice and used to from, say, August on to December, forget about it. Forget about it. It's not steady. It's not steady, and it's downright scary. It can be downright scary at times. I'm very much the past couple years, it's been a very back-end heavy situation where I've been decent during this portion of the year, these 6 months, but the first 6 months have been always like, it's enough to turn your pee-pee concave. If you have lady parts, it'd be like feeling them like just twist inside out. Oh, it's terrible. Did this for a long time, and man. Flu stars with Aledad Nyat Umvat up next. Last track we have recommended from Water Blanc for today's stream. Yeah, I'm definitely noticing a bit of a hiccup on the YouTube end, big time. Even just from navigation, even just from that standpoint.
A soon-to-be-called subscribe.
But oh, let me tell you, Grammarly ads, they pop up like it's nothing. So, all I can say is, if you ever have the opportunity to go on a big old CKN marathon, do it. If any of y'all want to arrange some sort of like big, massive $1 or $5 train, do it. Go to town, man. As I'll tell you, the reason why you see so many YouTubers obsessed with Patreon or obsessed with streaming or other ways to get paid, it's because the platform is not what it used to be. Hemophilia, what's going on? Suntrix, they're alright. I never got deep into them. If I'm being honest. And yeah, well, you're very right. This, like, quote-unquote last run is, it's actually longer than just these 4 months, or it's been longer than these 4 months, because, I was thinking about retirement in 2017. I was thinking about it all the way back in. And then I found, like I said, that spark. And that thing that you have to grab for, and hopefully you come up with some of it, and found it. Same thing happened in 2018. Had all these high hopes for 2019, and then one day I just grabbed for that spark, and there was nothing left. It was, I used it all up. You should put an advertisement right in the middle whenever you're listening to Epica. Yeah. John and everybody, I will once again tell you, if that happens in my videos, chances are I didn't place that ad there. Remember whenever everybody was pissed off because there were ads on the Rest in Peace videos? Remember that was a big pissing point, despite the fact that everybody and their fucking brother does that? You know, of course I do it, and it's a fucking terrible thing. Half the time, I didn't place the stuff there. Now people probably believe me. That's the thing. That is something where they say you have a semblance of control, and in some ways, you did at one point. These days, though, it sure doesn't feel like it. Because I'll tell you, like some of the stuff that I watch, you can tell a difference in how ads are placed based off of where they are sort of deliberately placed by the actual person. Because there will be something that will seem like it leads up to that, like a joke, or, you know, especially if you watch like the Vanos crew and stuff like that, you'll hear, hey guys, you know, we gotta put a mid-roll right here, you know. While this like slow thing is happening, put a mid-roll. Tons of mid-rolls. And then if there's a mid-roll there, you don't mind, because they're talking about it. But with the new YouTube environment, they just throw mid-rolls wherever they want. And that's not the YouTubers, that's whatever stupid algorithm that this stupid website is on now. YouTube is finished with the media ripped into Felix for no reason. There's a reason for that, don't you know? There's a reason toward that. And again, you might not think that's not that big of a deal or whatever, but you gotta remember what year this is. You gotta remember what has happened in this past decade. This past decade has been something else. I mean, if we're being real here, if we're being heart-to-heart real here, this past decade has been something else whenever it comes to the so-called advancement of our species. Volum, at one point, it was a lot better than it is now. Like, the thing is that even if in these last 4 months I made $400,000, you know, like, let's say that after we review the new Tool album, every video just does amazingly, and somehow I made $400,000, I'd still step down. So what I'm saying is make that happen. Give your boy a nice ass parting gift, but 2015, 2016 era, despite the fact that I was just like killing myself, those were good times to be a YouTuber, because the last thing that you were concerned about was an algorithm looking into something that you said, or a title of your video, or whatever, completely vacant of any sort of knowledge of what it means, automatically assuming the worst out of it, and ripping a livelihood out of the pockets of some folks. I have to be choosy about the things that I post about. I'll be doing another live stream this year. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I'll be doing at least 1 or 2 a month, if not more. Yeah, Kiara, she brings up a very good point there, is that it's not that you are necessarily racist. Maybe you just want to have a conversation about the racism problem or whatever, but you used that word. And to an algorithm that is meant and programmed to treat a word as the devil or as poor, regardless of its usage. Regardless, it ignores context. It ignores the syntax that surrounds it. It's in fact it's a computer program that teaches a computer to be very dumb in reality, because in any computer program, it has to follow a certain syntax in order for the program to work correctly. Same thing with like any sort of game or computer game or whatever. It has to follow the syntax based off of inputs. It gets a lot of input in order to output the result, or to output the motion. Whatever the goal is. To reach the end of the program. This is a computer program, an algorithm that literally exists to just seek things out, target them, and has the result of demonetization. Instantaneous. So, regardless to if you are posting something that is called like how to be a racist, and it's an actual like how-to guide published by, say, like the KKK or something like that, or Joe racist down in Alabama who wants to Sig Heil his way to stupidity, whether it's that or whether it is you saying racism is bad and should be just racism is bad, we'll just go very simple. They're going to look at that and they're going to treat it the same way. They're going to treat it the same way. Some say that YouTube has a little bit more of a liberal lean, and to be honest, I tend to agree with that assessment just from an outsider perspective. But sometimes that's simply because some of the more conservative beliefs really, really fucked up. See you later, Dark and Sun. You have yourself a good one. So, again, trying to be very, trying to tap dance around this is not an easy thing to do. It really is not an easy thing to do. Because again, even if you try to look at things from a very balanced perspective, even if you try to play devil's advocate on the very thing that you're roasting, or even if you're trying to play devil's advocate to the very thing that you believe in sometimes. If I were a Christian right now, for example, which I was a Roman Catholic for, 18 years, I can tell you aspects about religious life or about Catholic life that make it very appealing. There's a communal aspect to it. There is, through that communal aspect and through being a part of a group, you have the opportunity to eventually forge yourself friendships that could last a lifetime, that could lead to jobs and things like that. You know, there's that. There is that. And if it's something that you believe in and you believe in with all of your heart and soul, then there's no reason why somebody should come up to you and say, you're stupid for thinking that, with no other context, unless, you know, you're being ridiculous about it. But I could also tell you all the negatives. It's just, you're now in a world where no matter how indifferent you are toward one side or the other, or no matter how neutral of a stance you choose to take, or not that you choose to take, that you attempt to take, because that's all it is these days, is an attempt to be impartial. And you see how well that works for folks. They'll take a look at one article, and I don't mean full body work, I'm talking like the word the, or a, and they will somehow find a way, some person out there will twist it and construe it to mean that you're actually going over here instead of over here. You should be over here. Everyone's bad to people over here. Everyone hates over here. And it's fucked up. Everyone's over here. You're like, blah, 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 blah. But everyone over here, we just have to take it and get pie on our face. And all we want to do is say the N-word and be white. Well, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that, you motherfucker. You can do it, but I'll tell you one thing. There could be consequences, and when that happens, I don't give a fuck what happens to you. Anyway, let us get back onto the music, shall we? We have 5 more tracks on our queue. We are going to get the Kiara Sonata's The March to Hell very much next, and then we have a track from Gamma Angel, who I hope is still here, and we will conclude with a trio of tracks from Maru before we take our leave into the good night. Here's The March to Hell from Kiara Sonata, who, by the way, is one of our chatters. It's one of our folks. She's right there. Love her, worship her. Well, she might actually be seeing somebody, so love her like a friend or something. This is awkward. Oh, this person cons everything, brother. I'll tell you. Brother or sister, should I say. I apologize. March to Hell is the name of the song from Kiara Sonata, aka the band of Kiara Sonata's Music. I plan to stream again soon. If I do, it'll be sometime next week, because like I said, this weekend is out. I will be out of this apartment on Sunday for a lot of the day. Bored. Ugh. I'm not happy. Any and all donations that come through are all going toward cost of living, toward paying off that bill for Cornell surgery. Cornell, one of the cats that you saw on stream a little earlier, as well as a moving fund. Because, yeah. Whenever I get to spend a day outside of my house because they are bombing for bugs that shouldn't have been here in the first place, and our owner is too much of a cheapskate to actually do legitimate extermination, like actually hire people that this is their job to do. This is what they're supposed to do for a living. And you know, I had a big old hole in my kitchen ceiling for a month in February. The neighbor having a hole in his kitchen ceiling for 3.5 months. Having part of his oh, I didn't get to tell you guys of that. Neighbor had part of his ceiling fall on him about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's time to get the fuck out. Can you request a song? Request a song with the donation? Absolutely. Won't be doing much more of that. We're getting near the end of the stream, but yeah, we'll take a couple more if need be. Anything that's been released over over a year ago, I have my doubts that I will touch in the last 4 months here. So unfortunately, probably not. Jaltino Honey Badger. It's a good album though. It's a very, very strong album. So there's that. But yeah, there'll be other streams that'll be forthcoming. Don't worry. Like I said, we were going to do at least a couple a month. I'd like to do one a week if I could do that. That'd be perfect. Back in the day, we used to do between 3 and 5 a week. Whenever I was doing 5 streams a week, that was going to be a little much. You know. Forged by Fire. I haven't listened to it. Not out of any disrespect, but just haven't yet. I haven't gotten that far. Tomorrow, you will probably see a premiere. Be the album review in the next video. The album review for the new Killswitch Engage album entitled Atonement. That comes tomorrow. It'll probably be in the afternoon. I would say, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock. That's subject to change. What time it ends up airing. And then won't have anything for the weekend, unfortunately, because of what I just talked with you guys about. And then next week we will see where we're going from there. I should have that Hamina album by then. So we will hopefully be able to get that review done. And we are getting closer and closer and closer to Tool Time. Starring my main man, Tim the Tool Man Taylor, and Maynard the Tool Man, James Keenan. Oh, that whole stuff, oh my gosh, I can barely watch that stuff. Hey, if y'all ever want to have some fun, just, before you go to sleep, throw on one of the CKN playlists and just let it play through the night on your computer. Share it with all your friends, with your family, share it with your pets. Let's make these last 4 months damn good. Let's break some CKN records. How about that? Let's break some CKN records. Yeah? How about that? How about we aim to do some of those things? Let's aim to break some records. There's one guy over on the official CKN Facebook page that is absolutely convinced that I'm not allowed to retire until we get 100,000 subscribers, which there's a lot of work to do for that to happen. Like 25,000 work. So if any of you know 25,000 people, maybe just pass my channel along to them via a little birdie and make that guy's dream come true. Make that guy's dream come true, because I've already come to the conclusion and to the acceptance that is not going to happen before the retirement happens. But make that guy's dream a reality. There's a couple others that actually say the same thing, so it's kind of a common thing, or becoming a common thing. So if you happen to know 25,000 people, just think about your boy. I'd like it better if it was 25,000 people on Twitch that were subscribing, because that's like $2.49 a pop. Damn. Baby. Damn, baby. That'd be some change in the House of Flies. Well, we get a thing going where every single subscriber donates $1. That sounds fair. That sounds good. That sounds great. It's Patreon, but it's not Patreon. It's like one time. It's not recurring. If y'all want it to be recurring, hell, that's fine. I have a Patreon. It exists. Y'all do what you want with your money. That's how I've felt for a long time. Up next, we are going to roll down to our last couple of tracks for the eve. The first of which is a longer one. It is witnessed by Tanagra. which I hope our main dude, Gamma Angel, is still with us. Did I ever think that I would get to review a Tool album? I felt like I would. I felt like it was only a matter of time, because I knew they were working on material, or at least that's what they were telling us. The last couple of years, I started to get real skeptical. I started to get pretty skeptical these last couple of years that I'd be around to actually see it happen. Here's Tanagra, by the way, with Witness in the background. Kiara throwing 10 more down. One more song for shameless promotion. Kiara Sonata with Beauty and Passion. Listen, everybody. If you're not over on Kiara Sonata's music her channel, subscribing right now, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. Because those 2 songs of hers have been freaking awesome. And I subscribed instantaneously. I'm a legit subscriber. Y'all can check the analytics. Yeah, I really didn't. I got real skeptical these last pair of years that I'd be on YouTube long enough to review a Tool album. Did not think that day was going to come. And I guess it just sort of makes sense that it's during the last year, as opposed to it being somewhere in the middle. Like, I wasn't ever sure if I was going to get to review another Metallica album outside of Lulu. Because whenever you consider what Metallica has released during the time that I've been active, the only 2 albums that have been released have been Lulu and Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Just those 2. That's it. And we milked the hell out of Hardwired, didn't we? You know, anytime there was a new single, I posted about it. But I wasn't sure that they were going to come back with anything after Lulu, including an album that was honestly a lot better than I expected. But I didn't think I'd ever talk about an In the Woods album. I didn't think I would ever talk about an In the Woods album that came out while I was actively reviewing. I thought they were done. And here I've gotten a chance to talk about 2 of them. You never know. Does Lulu even count as a Metallica solo project? They're part of the album, so yeah. I don't think it's a solo project. Not at all. Elderwin with Alte. Zolan SHN keeping the stream going. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I do this just so you know. I'm not sure if you're new or not. I do this in the order in which they're received. So I can tell you right now that after this song, there are 4 in front of yours. So stick around for a little while, my friend. What, New Disillusion after 13 years? Yeah, another very prominent example. Big time question is going to be what we get from them. Because Back to the Times of Splendor is, I would say, an unsung metal classic. Oh, you're GZ? Oh! Dude. Hello. Holy shit, dude. How's it been going? Wow. Talk about a comeback. Any plans to review New Flying Colors album? They are not on my hit list, so again, that would be if I just got the desire to do it. Like I said, I have a hit list. Opeth is definitely on that hit list. White Lord is on that hit list. New Tool is obviously on that hit list. The hit list is growing as more dates become available. I have 25 videos that have been earned through stuff in chat over the year that need to be done, and that's a very, very high priority. Busy with the Army? Hoorah, my friend, hoorah. Will Teespring still be open after I stop posting on the channel? Hell yeah, it will be. In fact, I would like to get one or two more designs up there for you guys. I don't exactly think y'all would wear a t-shirt that had a tombstone on it that said CKN 2009-2020. Maybe a pair of sunglasses on it or something, but maybe it would. Only one way to find out. The other shirts really haven't. I think I've sold like 2 of them. I think there's only been 2 of those that have been sold. Which is worse, Lulu or Saint Anger? Probably Lulu. Made a huge metal album playlist on here. Should post it in the Discord. Go right ahead, man. Go right ahead. That's good to hear, Volum, because, man, again, like I said, that is a kind of an unsung, underrated metal classic right there. Like, I don't think folks understand just how positively ridiculous that album is. It is amazing. It is amazing. It's this, it's this album where whenever you look at it, like, all I always thought about whenever I saw it was like, oh, they're using similar colors to Wind's Devouring Man by Ellen. Thinking, maybe I should check this out. And I did. It was like, holy fuck. It's amazing. It's great. But, you have that, and then you're looking at a 13-year gap. Man. At that point in time, you start to wonder if you're almost thankful for what you got. Or at least you should be. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, I would be tempted. Like, if I came back after 13 years, let's say I retire in 2020, January 1st, 2020, and I come back in 2033 to YouTube or whatever it's called now, beam in your head tube. And I would always feel like, folks should be happy with what they got. I think that's really, it's not fair. It's not a fair assessment or a fair way to look at it, but you would think, or your initial thought process would be, man, folks are going to want to watch this, or they're going to listen to this, or they're going to love this simply because they say that absence makes the heart grow fonder, and, it's been so long. They're going to just love the piss out of it. That's not how it works at all. That is not how it works at all. 13 years, you'll be 50. 13 years, I will be 48 years old, so I'm right there with you. I'm honestly right there near you. I don't want to think about that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. 50 in 15 years, and that number actually should be 25. Physically, I already feel like I'm 50 some days old, especially whenever my knee pops like that. God. Yeah, there's another really good point, Volum. It says that it makes people expect way too much out of you. They kind of expect the world whenever that is not necessarily what you can deliver. Justin here wants to hear the Suburbs from the Arcade Fire. I think that is a perfect song to end on. I really believe that it is. Remember whenever there was that rumor going around that seemed like it had some real potency to it, that Metallica was going to be doing an album with Lady Gaga? Remember that? I don't know what it is about Metallica and weird one-off projects like that. But well, yeah, there's going to be another Metallica album before all is said and done. I can almost guarantee you that. The only way that does not happen, I think, is if we experience a death. I think if one of the members of Metallica passes, especially if it happens to be James or Lars, then the band's done. Then they just call it a day. That's the album I recommend the most this year so far, the brand new Thank You Scientist album. That album is intense and amazing, and I love every bit and every piece of it. It's incredible. Kevin Parker is just something about that man that is just amazing and intoxicating. I don't know if it's his voice or just like sort of that pseudo psychedelic style that he's able to apply to everything. Oh, that's who we need. We need a new album from Tame Impala, like now, like tomorrow, please. That'd be cool. Like all of a sudden, ta-da! New Tame Impala album. I'm just like, oh, thanks. Yay. Wonderful. Wunderable. I still remember, speaking of the Arcade Fire, who Justin recommended, that's going to be probably the last track of the stream. I remember whenever they won Album of the Year for the Suburbs. And just the absolute shock that came from everybody. Did I see the Abstract Illusion shout out on Facebook? I did. That's cool. That's freaking cool as hell. And I love those boys. Oh, those guys are great. That's something else. They will be a career that I will be following regardless to whether or not I'll be talking about it or not. I was thinking about this last night. But if at any time frame during this tenure I helped the band get someone into them, you know, helped them get a fan or helped them get a sale, you know, then that's awesome. That's great. And I'm talking like a legitimate sale as opposed to it being played over on like Spotify or here on YouTube or things like that, because then it almost seems a little unfair. You know, if I get 1,000 views or 2,000 views, I might make $2, but yeah, off of a YouTube stream, they get like a fraction of a penny. Reflector is really, it's an out there album, which is good. Joan of Arc, that's all I'm going to say about that. That's the thing, like, that's the part of this gig that I'll always be really, really thankful for. Is that I've ever had the opportunity to do that for somebody, whether it be a band or whether it's the fan. You know, I sometimes people forget about the fans that, you know, got to experience these bands for the first time and got to think to themselves, holy shit, like, how was I missing this? That's super cool. That's something I will never, ever, ever take for granted, and I never have. Sometimes I think it sounds that way because it has become like the sort of way of life and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, sometimes you have to do what's best for you. And it was something that was really, really hard for me to accept for a long, long time, which is why I kept on going on, because I don't think of myself that much. And I think I've said that in the past, and I will certainly reiterate again in the future. I am not a very self-centered person. At least I don't feel like a very self-centered person. I'm sure others have varying opinions, and there's a good chance that they might be right. You know, I'm not going to dispute that. Sometimes folks that have the outside look at you know you better than you know yourself, especially if they're around you a lot. I think it's funny, I could talk with one of my friends. You know, I've known her for 11 years, my tech department, in fact. And the funny thing is that whenever we talk, sometimes I will say something, and I'll understand why certain things can and can't happen, or this or that, or why her speech patterns goes a certain way, or why things are described in a certain way. And then I'll say that to her, but like, wait a minute, what about this? And she's like, it was almost like at first it's like, how did you know? But then at the same time, it's also like, how did I not realize? So sometimes the people that are closest to you, they know you the best. So I don't think I'm very self-centered, but someone might say, dude, you're all about yourself. The spotlight's got to be on you. If the spotlight's not on you, you're a pissy little baby. Anyway. Renzi, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, we still have 4 months, man. This is the thing about this. I'm appreciative to everybody who has reached out and said thank you and all that. And, whether it's been just with messages or with donations and things like that, keep all that going. That's great. I appreciate that so much. But, hey, don't fret. We still have 4 months left. Don't forget about the stuff that we have remaining before it ends. And I can tell you this, I will guarantee you that after the album of the year comes up, first of all, we're going to have a massive watch party for it. That's going to be a big premiere. But we'll have a stream. We'll have a stream after that. Maybe not the same night, obviously, but we'll have a stream right around the same time. Have it truly be a final bow moment. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like if we keep talking about the future, we will continuously forget about the present. And currently, at present, Maru has a couple of tracks that are in the queue that have her name on it that we need to listen to. First of all, that was Witness by Tanagra, that was recommended by Gamma Angel. Just a fantastic, wonderful, wonderful song. Great album as well. That came out this year. 2019 release. The album is entitled Meridium. So we pop over here tomorrow. She says some weird Finnish music. I've read this once already, but I will reiterate. So first up we have Vekate. I need to make sure I get this. Oops, I already screwed up. With Turpis Kano. Again, forgive my horrid pronunciations of things. I don't even think I can speak my own language right. Then again, I listen to some of these fuckstains that are just like, oh, how you doing there, balls? Oh, too bad. Thanks for asking. Solomon SHN tossing in the $4.99. Once you hear some Hawk Witches burning. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate that. Not a perfect year to go out on. Yeah. Not a plan at all, but life comes at you quick and life changes quick. Yeah, throwing out to Justin. Justin, who's in the chat, but he can't say anything, unfortunately. Everyone say hi to Justin. On Discogs, I have that's where the CD sales migrated to. So you can look over there if you like. Name on Discogs is just coverkillernation. I'm pretty easy to find. Hey, well, you have yourself a good one. Thank you very much. This content means an old stump that doesn't rot. It's also used to describe very old but healthy people. Hopefully I am that. Hopefully I am old. Hopefully I am a Terviscano. Or Terviscanto, rather. hopefully I end up as a therapist cut though. That'd be fantastic. I would be very, very happy. I keep looking out my window because I think it's just the way that it looks. Like it's a little sticky out maybe. It looks like it's raining. Oh, because it is. What the fuck? That wasn't supposed to happen. Apparently, the world had other plans. Now it's just outside for that break, and it's beautiful outside. It's picture perfect. It was, and is, however, extremely muggy. I actually pronounced that well? Yes! One thing I pronounced well. Hooray! It only took me, what, 3, 4, 7 years? Maybe, just maybe. Maybe, just maybe, you can learn to love me for how I am. It's been a while. I actually was hoping to have this stream a little bit closer to the announcement of the retirement, but life kind of continuously got in the way. Life just continuously kind of gets in the way with stuff. That's another big problem with everything these days, man. There's just a lot going on. Now, let's go from, let's ruin me, pronouncing things correctly. And let's make it bad. Minasit with, Morsaman Itetkis? Now this here, we have a little bit of context behind it, folks. This is from Maru. It's, and the context is, Bride's Weeping Song. Back in the old days when girls got married, the wedding was held at her father's home. Everyone tells them how good her childhood home is and how bad her new home is going to be. The purpose of this was to make a bride weep. If she wouldn't cry at her wedding, she would cry all her life. So remember that. Remember that, boys. Remember that, gentlemen out there. If you look over at your bride on your wedding day and she's crying, that means you're not allowed to make her cry once you guys have, consummated the marriage and all that stuff. Because then, if you make her cry after that, you're an asshole. If she doesn't cry at the wedding, and you make her cry, you get a pass. No, you don't. I'm full of shit. What's up? Many bands that I regret never talking about. I'd have to think real hard on that one, my friend. I think I delayed a little bit on Ghost before I finally talked about Opus Eponymous. I wish that I had gotten to that right as it had come out. So that was one that I sort of corrected. Not really. Because I think if I sat down and regretted stuff, I would would easily find a way to have a list a mile long, and there's nothing that can really done about it. So that has been my biggest disappointment so far this year. Nothing comes to mind offhand. Like, that's the thing. I've not listened to a lot of terrible albums this year. If I were to be respectful to that, I wasn't a big fan of New Queensryche. I know that there are some folks that differ in that opinion. That's fair. But the verdict didn't do very much of anything for me at all. I wouldn't call it my biggest disappointment or like even necessarily the worst album of the year. I wouldn't do that whatsoever. But Personally, for me, the verdict didn't do much, but not necessarily is it a bad album. And the same is very true for like "I the Mask" from In Flames. I don't think that was a bad album either. In fact, I think In Flames did some decent things on that record. So I don't really think I have an answer for you there, bud. That's why whenever it comes to the worst of the year, I may need a little bit of assistance, because I've not heard a lot of stuff that I've been really, I guess, pissed with. You know, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm just looking through here. I'm looking at the lowest scores. And I just mentioned In Flames. Bring Me the Horizon was a lower score, but they're trying something new. So can I really say much about that? No. Soilwork was kind of underwhelming. A lot of stuff that has gotten kind of like lower scores this year are from groups that don't have a lot of, I guess, context behind them. Like Thy Station, for example. The Standing Man first chapter. Just progressive rock. Really bad mix. The vocals were really uneven, but the music was wonderful. So, yeah, what can you say about that, really? I'll tell you one album that I think gets kind of passed over a little bit is Sulphur English from Inter Arma. That album is a joy. I just absolutely love that disc. I'm a very big fan of what Inter Arma is doing. So, that was a really cool folk song. Again, The Bride's Weeping. Or Bride's Weeping Song. So we have, to finish up, we have Unionos. See, the funny thing about this is that there's so much that is played on these streams. I think I just completely had a stroke there. There's so many things that are played on these streams that if I walked into a home and they were being played,
You haven't seen the sun in like...
I would feel at home in those places. Like even the folk songs such as that one. Any sort of Dutch pop music, I'm apparently, or Danish pop, or anything from around that corner I'd be fine with. The Dream Theater album was actually really good. The Dream Theater Distance Before Time was a great return to form. Especially after an album such as The Astonishing. I was pleasantly surprised by the Dream Theater disc. The only negative that I'd have to say about it is that in the past couple of months I haven't gone back to it, which scares me a little bit because that very same thing happened to me with The Astonishing, and whenever I went back to it in December for like album of the year stuff, I hated it. Got the top 5 favorite bands. I have a whole video I did on that. As Dawn Souls has just pointed out. If you ever want to know like any sort of top 5, top 10 stuff, there's a whole playlist of top 10 list videos or topic videos, and there's a lot of topics in there. I want to say there's like maybe 300 videos. Have yourself a little marathon, pal. Have yourself a little marathon there, bud. I'll tell you, it's good stuff. I still think Slipknot overdid things on Volume 3. Considering I haven't listened to that album pretty much since I've done that discography review, I stand with what I said. But I will also say that on We Are Not Your Kind, they went with both variety but also experimentation. So there could be some parallels drawn there, maybe. But I also think the Volume 3 also has some fluff. Which, again, We Are Not Your Kind has the same thing that's going on there. And what you're going to learn tomorrow about the Killswitch album is that whenever you listen to a band for a really, really long time, and, you know, the songs start to run together, that's probably not a good thing. Now, like, the reason why I like a band like Opeth is that they constantly do kind of keep things interesting. You know, despite prog Opeth having a certain timbre to it or a certain register to it, each album at least has something a little bit different to offer. One of them is more standard prog, another one has more heavy prog going to it. You know, Sorceress was, you know, downright sinister sounding at points. And then you have everything from their prior career, you know, as a progressive death metal band. You know, they were borderline black metal whenever they first got started. You know, because nobody really knew what to call what they were doing. You know, they were calling it, what, like epic death metal? Back in the day? What are any thoughts on Oasis? The hell's a Wonderwall? Like, is that a legit thing? Like, is that something in Britain that's, like, legit? You know, if you say to somebody in Britain, hey, you're my Wonderwall, does it actually mean, like, you're my rock? You know? I don't want to have a Champagne Supernova in the sky yet, but that's the first song from Oasis I ever heard off of What's the Story, Morning Glory. Made me a fan. Whenever I got into metal, I didn't get out of them, per se. But my focus shifted. Because if you try to focus on every piece of music or every band that you enjoy, or enjoyed even a little bit, God, you're gonna drive yourself batshit. You're gonna drive yourself insane. Oh, excuse me. Thanks to everybody for, you know, being here now. I do appreciate that. Definitely Maybe's a really good album. Shame they just couldn't, the Gallagher brothers just couldn't get along in many ways. You know. But I will say that the solo projects that they have mutually are pretty decent. VDI and Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Of course, there are going to be people take sides on that. People take sides on that one as to whom they prefer between the two of them. Between the two of them, which one they enjoy the most? Sigmund Freud says that it has something to do with your mother. Because it's true. As your mother said that she loved me, but then she also said that she loved Stan. Stan's a dick. Beauty and Passion by Chiara Sonata. One more from Chiara Sonata songs. Maybe. Hopefully. There it is. Beauty and Passion. Actually, I think if you look at this one, you actually see a picture of our good friend Kiara. The white, I have to say, not what you expect. Whenever you listen to this, you're not expecting to be clad in white. But very, very nice. Awesome. Like Menardo, what's going on, my friend? Yeah, I've heard Three Teeth. I haven't heard much of anything from them. I just am familiar with the name. Which, I know that in the Morbid Angel video, for Ludovic and Sanus, I made a joke about, what was it, 46 teeth or something like that? That was partially because I couldn't think of, there's another band I couldn't think of. I wish I could get most of their orchestration. You know, Mario would be a nice challenge for them, I think, if they did that. Maybe do a stripped down, like, bare bones, go back to basics album. Could be an interesting thing. You know, just whenever we read that, we think to ourselves, oh, you know, that's such a kind of a critical part of what they've been doing lately. But something new. I mean, listen to it and all of a sudden you're just like, okay, maybe not like that. That'd be a little weird. You know, get yourself checked. Hello from KSA. Hello from PA, USA, I guess. I suppose. Anime, I'm dead. Hey, I'll tell you, if I could write anime music, I'd probably make a good living. Probably make some. Sometimes you just have to think about getting paid. Write yourself a nice little anime intro, sell it to something. If it ends up being bigger than, you know, tomato juice and celery, then shit, you're set. How you doing, Azil? I appreciate all you. I appreciate all you. Blue Dust Nord, another one? Oh my gosh. Blue Dust Nord, they keep themselves busy. They really do. Anybody who wants to get into Blue Dust Nord and get their discography, dude, you're gonna have some fun. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's gonna take you some time. You're gonna have to put forward some effort. Oh my gosh, it's pen, pencil, pencil, pen. Pen, pencil, pencil, pen. Pencil, pencil, pen, 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 pencil, pen. I'm waiting for the sequel, Colored Pencil Marker. Marker, paintbrush. Power metal seems to be the theme of this stream. Hey, it is not a bad genre. It's admittedly one it's the one genre I'd say I know the least about. My history on that is not strong. I also don't live in Europe, where power metal is fucking huge. Not that that's an excuse. But I know that if I lived in Europe, I kind of want to go really bad with a lot of money. And I can just buy a lot of records, buy a lot of CDs and stuff, tons of them. Oh. I'm on this huge kick of like wanting to just go to places and just search their music. Like, it'd be so cool if that would be oh god. Can I just tell you something? Do you have a deal, Kiara? Like, has somebody listened to this stuff and said, yes, we are going to distribute this, we are going to put this this music, we're going to imprint it onto little discs, and we're going to put artwork and stuff, and we're going to, you know, we're going to give it to people to sell, and you are going to make millions of dollars off of it. Because if not, I don't think I have much hope for the music of tomorrow. Because it's really, really good and very well produced. And it doesn't feel vanilla, it's very power metal, and power metal takes on a lot of different forms that oftentimes have a very, similar looking face, but just, it's really good. Nobody's putting this on small little discs. Why? That's it. It's time to found CKN Records. Become a hot producer. Elderwind coming up next. We are getting down to it, folks. Last couple songs of the day. And all of a sudden, it's like really poopy looking out. What the fuck, man? Alte by Elderwind up next. Alte. Massive fermenting dregs cinder to Kimmy. Wow. Or cider to Kim. Cinder. Jesus. Cider to Kimmy. Fucking hell, man. Thank you very much. GH or Zoltanus HN now. Sir. Excuse me. CKN Records, man. Right there. That's, that's just as possible as CKN Fest is. Yikes. Remember whenever that was all the talk and all the rage? I think that's even like, if you look at the old CKN Patreon, I'm pretty sure that it's in there as like, if we make it to this much a month, holy crap, I have to start looking into putting CKN Fest together. Something like that. Obviously that didn't happen. Obviously that didn't happen. Favorite guitarist of all time. I'm a Marty Friedman fan, I think. I don't know. I never sat and thought about it. It was never all that critical to me. I had a bunch of guys that I really liked. Aside from that, it was just like, I don't know. How many Metallica albums do you think that we're going to see before they retire? I would say probably one. Maybe two. Because if you remember whenever Hardwired to Self-Destruct came out, they said that they wanted to have a quick turnaround time for the next album. And that was 3 years ago. Now, that was sure 3 years ago. Now, wasn't it? So, yeah, I think one more. I think one more is all that they need. And honestly, the funny thing is that they could not, Hardwired could be their last album, and that'd be fine. Like, they really have nothing further to prove. If I'm being real with all y'all. Metallica doesn't have anything left to prove. Really, Megadeth doesn't have anything left to prove either. They're doing it purely for the love of the music and everything like that. They still have something to say. And that's another reason why Black Sabbath, everyone was saying there was going to be an album that was going to follow up 13. They didn't need to make that album. They didn't need to. That was another one. Did you expect earlier this decade that we were going to have a Black Sabbath album that had Ozzy Osbourne doing vocals? A legit studio album? That is the craziest thing. That is the craziest thing. Slayer one more album? No. Slayer's done. Slayer is absolutely done. Tom wants out, and I don't blame him. Tom wants out, and I don't blame him. There are a lot of bands from, say, the 80s and even the 70s, that the ones that are deciding to call it a career and focus on family or focus on whatever, I mean, that's their prerogative, and really they have a lot of really good points. The ones that are sticking around, I think they are doing that for the love of the music. Because there's a lot of bands out there that are basically carbon copies of themselves in older masks, older face masks, and they are pretty much just, they're doing it because they want to. I don't exactly think the Rolling Stones are still embarking on tours because they need the money that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily think Mick Jagger is in debt up to his tits, where he needs to go out on tour with the Rolling Stones till he's like 97. Just to pay off a debt. And if he was, he would never have to worry about, Keith Richards. Keith Richards is going to live through everything. Russia could drop a nuclear bomb on Keith Richards' house. The only thing that would survive would be Keith Richards. Even the Twinkies would fucking die. How many more Megadeth albums? Not many more. If I were to give Dave Mustaine a message, it would be, dude, space out the Megadeth albums a little bit more. 2 or 3, maybe. And that's really pushing it. Like Dave and I disagree with some things, with some aspects of life, but let the man enjoy it. Like, let the man enjoy his life a little bit. I know that he loves music. I think he could do a hell of a job as either a producer or somebody who's in there with promotion. I think that Dave has a voice that could easily take on that role, and sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes with any good scene, you need to have some folks that transition into more of a hey, look at these guys, or like, hey, one guy that's always been really, really good for that has been Trevor from the Black Dahlia Murder. Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. I would say Priest probably has. Well, actually, Priest is probably okay for another 2 to 3. Unless something happens to Rob. Unless something happens to Rob, they're probably good for another 2 to 3. Maiden is definitely good for probably at least 2. I would say Maiden's good for 2. That's what I would say. Anthrax? So I'm losing my hair. It really annoys you? Trust me, it really annoys me too. It's my head. Well, moving on. My videos are getting really boring and empty of rivalent commentary. Well, I'm glad you're moving on as well. I hate bad spelling. Bad spelling annoys me. It pisses me off. Hog with Witches Burning. Coming up next. It makes me mad. Ah! I'm still just man. Sucks that it got really shitty out. I don't know about Anthrax. I can't get a read on them, honestly. I really can't get a read on Anthrax at all. See, there's a lot of bands out there that I wouldn't be surprised if they just never came back with another studio record and were just a live band for the remainder of their careers. Pretty much every member of the Big Four, I felt that way about. Slayer is obviously, they're done. What would honestly have been, I'll tell you where they kind of lost the opportunity to really be, have a big blow-off or blowout a shame that all 4 bands didn't think of something, or that didn't think to like retire at the same time, because then they could have had themselves a hell of a tour. And it's pouring down rain out there now. What the hell? You sorry about what? Oh God. Ah, Thomas, it hurts. Hurts so bad. How about a wig? I'm not a member of the wig party. I'm not a member of the wig party. Those bastards didn't last. Maybe I should start a new wig party. The wig party, the true political party of a really cool rock. Hey Elijah, what's going on, man? I'm not sure what he knows how to do. You had a life back in 2012. What happened? What happened to it, Maru? I got introduced to it. I ruined it. I've ruined her life, folks. It's official. That message proves that I ruined Maru's life. Another one on the list. I think a G1 Climax. Oh man, what a show! What a show! That was so much fun. It's great to watch. Finale was crazy. Kenta, by the way, not surprised. But I also think we are going to see one more match for Shibata. And oh, that's going to be oh so sweet. Too sweet, in fact. "2012 YouTube was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It is a pretty decent time. I was but a young boy. No, I wasn't. I was already 3 years into my career. Something like that, eh? I'm not taking credit for it. All jokes. All jokes. I hope that the actual legitimate reason why things have changed so much for you in the past 7 years is, even if it is negative, that there have been positives that have come from it. So I know not everything could always be happy, but, look at you. Yeah, the only thing about Shibata, Elijah, that would keep it from happening would be if he can't get cleared. So Master the Fermenting Dregs up next with Cider to Kimmy. And then we have one final track. And that's that. Oh, you were still working and dating back then. Well, I mean, you're still dating these days. Working, I can understand. I think about Fred Durst and John Travolta making a movie together, CKN. Nothing surprises me with Hollywood anymore, so sure, why not? I have loved John Moxley's run in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think that was awesome, and especially this might be unpopular, but I like the fact that he had that undefeated streak in the G1 and then it turned around and he didn't end up winning the block. I thought that was a really, really nice swerve. And also, happy birthday, Angel. Happy birthday. Thanks for taking some time out of your birthday to come tune in. I appreciate that very much. Now you go take her out to dinner. Damn it. I don't know. Telling people what to do. What the hell? Okay. Well, that was sure something. would you like to please work? Right at the end. Right at the end. Oh, if you hear that, then I guess that's good. Oh, wait. Maybe that's not all for today. Hi. Hello. I don't know. If you can see me, that's good, because we just have one other song. I mean, that's pretty much it. So, before things go to hell again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Next stream will probably be sometime next week. I'm going to try to avoid Thursdays, apparently, because Thursdays, apparently, YouTube decides it just wants to suck and be really, really difficult. At any rate, we're going to finish it off with The Suburbs from Arcade Fire. This was requested from Justin. Seems like a nice fitting end. I don't care about your sushi business, old Japanese guy. And I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, actually, because there's the premiere of the new video for the Killswitch Engage review for Attenument. That'll be sometime tomorrow afternoon, so if you're available, do come out for that. I will probably be in chat. Of course, that's only about 10-minute type thing, so we might get a lot of time, but be there. And then no activity over the weekend. And next week, definitely another video next week or two in streams. So, as we fade and depart, thanks again for everything and for all y'all for coming out. And I'll see you guys next time. Have yourself a good one. Take care.